She thought it was just a small act of kindness, but little did she know, it would change her life forever. What if the homeless man you helped turned out to be someone you should never have ignored? In a world where most people walk past without a second glance, one woman decided to do something different. Emma, a single mother struggling to make ends meet, never imagined that offering a warm meal to a stranger would spark a chain of events that would transform not only his life, but her own. But what happened next left everyone speechless. If you've ever believed in the power of kindness, this story will stay with you forever. Make sure to watch until the end because the surprise ending will touch your heart in ways you won't expect. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more inspiring stories like this. Your next life-changing moment might be just one act of kindness away. She thought it was just a simple act of compassion, but little did she know, it would unveil a secret that would change her life forever. Imagine finding out that the homeless person you decided to help was someone who would alter the course of your future. This heartwarming tale will inspire you to believe in the power of kindness, so stay with us until the end to witness the incredible twist that left everyone speechless. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from, and we'll be sure to leave a heart on your message. Now, let's get into the story. Emma was an ordinary waitress, doing her best to make ends meet in the heart of a bustling city. Life was a daily grind, starting her shift at 4 p.m. and ending at midnight, just in time to catch the last bus home. There, she'd be greeted by the sleepy face of her 6-year-old daughter, Lily. Being a single mother wasn't the life Emma had envisioned, but she faced it with quiet strength. With Lily's father out of the picture and bills piling up, Emma's world was a constant balancing act. That evening, the restaurant was unusually quiet, which meant fewer tips. To make matters worse, Lily had a fever, and Emma's paycheck wouldn't stretch far enough to cover the cost of medicine. Still, she smiled through the exhaustion, convincing herself she could make it through just one more day. Then, everything changed. The bell above the restaurant door chimed, and in walked a man whose appearance drew every eye in the room. He was clearly homeless. His clothes were torn, his feet were bare, and he looked like he'd spent far too many nights on the street. As he slowly made his way to a corner table, the judgment from customers and co-workers was palpable. "Look at that guy. What's he doing here?" one server muttered. "He's going to scare the customers away." Emma's heart ached at their words. She'd experienced that same invisible treatment before, not as a homeless person, but as a single mother and a waitress trying to get by. Determined to show compassion, she picked up her notepad and approached him. "Good evening. Can I help you?" she asked gently. The man glanced up, his eyes filled with shame and hesitation. "Just a glass of water," he mumbled. Those 4 words struck Emma's heart. A glass of water. So small, so simple, but it seemed like the only thing he had the courage to ask for. Without hesitation, Emma smiled and replied, "How about something to eat too?" Before he could refuse, she went to the kitchen and prepared a plate of hot soup, fresh bread, and a small piece of leftover cake. Her co-workers rolled their eyes, criticizing her for wasting food. "He's not going to pay you," one scoffed. Emma ignored them. Her mind was focused on something bigger. She'd seen how a simple act of dignity could restore someone's hope. When she placed the plate in front of him, he froze for a moment before looking up at her with watery eyes. "Why are you doing this for me?" he asked, his voice shaky. "Because everyone deserves to be treated with respect," she replied. He ate slowly, savoring each bite. Before he left, he adjusted his chair, looked directly into Emma's eyes, and said, "Thank you. You have no idea how much this means to me." Then, he walked out the door, leaving Emma feeling an unexpected sense of peace. Over the next week, Emma couldn't stop thinking about the man. Who was he? What was his story? Why had his words felt so profound? Her coworkers continued to mock her for playing the hero, but she'd made peace with her decision. A week later, the bell above the door chimed again. It was him. This time, his appearance had changed. His clothes were cleaner, his hair was trimmed, and he looked more self-assured. Emma's heart swelled with pride and curiosity. "Hello again," she greeted warmly. "Would you like a seat?" "Actually, I'd like to talk to you," he said, holding a worn envelope in his hand. Emma asked a coworker to cover her station and stepped outside with him. I've been thinking about what you did for me that day, he began. You didn't just give me food. You reminded me of something I'd forgotten, that I matter. His words hit Emma's heart like a bolt of lightning. He explained that after their encounter, he'd found the courage to seek help. He'd stayed at a shelter, gotten a job, and was working to rebuild his life. None of this would have happened if you hadn't treated me with dignity that day, he said. Then, he handed her the envelope. Inside was an old photo of a woman holding a baby. That's my mother, he said. She taught me that kindness is a gift you should never underestimate. You reminded me of her. Emma's eyes filled with tears as she realized just how much her simple gesture had meant to him. Weeks passed. Then one day, Emma arrived at work to find a scene of commotion. Her manager was arguing with someone at the door. It was him, the man she'd helped, but this time he wasn't alone. A well-dressed woman with a kind smile stood beside him. Emma intervened, and they all sat at a table. The man pulled out another envelope, this one much cleaner and crisper. My name is David Santos, he said. I wasn't always homeless. I was once a businessman, but life took everything from me. Thanks to you, I found my way back. I'm here to pay it forward. David handed her the envelope. Inside was a legal document, a deed to a small property. This is for you and your daughter. You've given me more than you'll ever know. This is my way of giving back. Emma's eyes filled with tears. I can't accept this, she said. Yes, you can, David replied. It's not about need. It's about what's right. With a heart full of gratitude, Emma accepted. She later used the property to open a cozy cafe, a place where everyone was treated with dignity. At the entrance, a sign read, "True wealth is in giving, not receiving." If you've been moved by this story, please subscribe to our channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss an inspiring story like this. Remember, kindness can change lives, sometimes in ways we can't even imagine. Leave a comment if you've stayed until the end. We'd love to hear from you. The power of kindness, a small act, like a warm meal, can make a huge difference in someone else's life. Sometimes, what people need most is not money, but respect and compassion, dignity and empathy. Everyone has a story that we cannot see. Instead of judging, learn to empathize and treat others with love. Actions don't require anything in return, but life always returns the favor. Emma didn't expect anything in return when she helped the homeless man, but fate gave her back more than she could have ever imagined. Sometimes, what we give comes back in the most unexpected ways. True value lies not in wealth, but in love and kindness. True happiness doesn't come from money or material things, but from human connections. One small electronic action can change someone's world. We never know who is in need of help and who might be going through the most difficult time of their lives. Don't miss the opportunity to do good, because you will be the guiding light for someone in the darkness. Sometimes, the other thing doesn't need to be money, but a little hope, a little respect, and a little love. You can be the reason someone gets up and starts over. Do you believe in the power of kindness? If this story touches your heart, please subscribe to Story Precious so you don't miss out on more inspiring and meaningful stories. Leave a comment below. I believe in kindness. If you believe that acts of kindness can change the world, click the notification bell to be the first to follow emotional and meaningful stories in upcoming videos. Story Precious, where you find love, hope, and strength from touching everyday stories.